Honestly, I really wished I did this. I would have got such a better grade if I did. I took a big fat L not knowing this exam tip. Looking back, it was such a scam. Like, how were we never told this? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, it's Student Tonia. I make videos based on studying and student lifestyle. If you like that sort of content, then make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. And as you can tell from the title, I'll be sharing with you guys how to prep for mock exams, as mock exams is around the corner for some year 11s. So in this video, I'll be sharing tips that no one tells you about. So if you stick around to watch the full video, then all will be revealed. So if you want to ace your mock exams, then keep on watching. So revision material is your flashcards, your mind maps. I know the cliches you've probably heard before, but this can vary from subject to subject. For example, if you're doing GCSE history, you probably want to use flashcards to remember key terms and dates, whereas with maths, you probably want to actually do practice questions, as that is just a broad generalization of what most people do and the more logical way. But by all means, you can use whatever revision material that suits you and your subject. So your revision material does depend on what type of learner you are. For me, I personally like to revise off flashcards and YouTube videos, and this again, it varies from person to person. But if you do need some last minute revision material, then there are some websites that are really helpful. One website that I absolutely love is Physics and Maths Tutor. I actually still use this now for my A-levels, and they do the sciences, so physics, biology, chemistry. I think they do maths, I'm not sure. I mean, it is called Physics and Maths Tutor, so they should have maths. Their revision material is so good, so they even have flashcards already made for you guys. You just have to print them off. They have revision material based on everything. Physics and Maths Tutor is so helpful. Say that if you were studying GCSE chemistry and there's a specific topic that you wanted to focus on, so they will have subtopics there for you. They have it there all for you, which I love how focus specific each of the revision material is. Instead of just printing off lots of past paper questions and just going through them all. Say that if there was only one specific topic that you struggled on, then you can just go ahead and revise that. So I'll have that linked down below in the description box. However, it is better to make your own revision material because it's your own notes and the notes are only for you and it's in your own words, so only you understand it. Whereas it can be time consuming learning and revising other people's notes as it's not in your own words. Maybe there's certain vocabulary that they use which means the same thing as what you would put in your own vocabulary, but maybe the vocabulary is a bit more advanced and you're struggling to get your head around it. So making your own revision material is definitely worth it. And just a quick side note, when you do make your own revision material, use keywords. So now you've got your revision material, now it's actually going on to revise. So revision and exam papers are based on knowledge, application, and just exam technique. So the knowledge is like the cornerstone of the exam. You either know it or you don't. It's a bit of a sticky one if you don't know it because you can't even attempt to answer the question even if you wanted to. And with the knowledge of the exam, you either have been taught it but you've forgotten. This is why retaining information is so important. So using flashcards, which again is my favorite technique, so you can really retain that information and store it into your long-term memory, not your short-term memory. Application, so it's applying the knowledge you know to different questions and scenarios. And the best way to practice application is to just do practice questions. Like print off so many practice questions, print off topic specific questions and actual exam papers. Preferably exam papers just because that's what you'll be doing. You'll be sitting exam papers, not topic specific questions. But my best advice is to honestly practice and practice, but at least try to time manage your exam. So when you're actually like practicing the exam questions, time yourself. Time management is so important, it really is. It can honestly distinguish whether you get a 6 or whether you get a grade 8. And the more you practice exam questions, questions, you'll start to notice a trend within these papers. For example, for the maths papers, what you do tend to notice towards the end of the paper, either the last question or the second to last question, they always have questions based on vectors, circle theorem, or a tree diagram, and these are worth 5 or 4 marks. I haven't sat a maths exam paper in such longest, but I still remember that because I just know what the trend is. Recognizing trends in exam papers can be helpful, as you know what sort of questions are going to come in different areas of the exam paper. If you don't qualify for extra time, then you just have to suck it up and just manage your time and practice it. You just have to do that. So exam technique, pretty much everything I've said so far in this video, but just constantly putting it into practice. You've practiced it so much that when it comes to the actual exam, where it's just you and the paper alone, you just know what to do without even thinking about it. An exam technique tip that I have for you guys is finding out where the most marks are awarded in an exam paper. You want to spend more time on those questions that are worth so many marks. An example of this was history. I did GCSE history, and my teacher actually made us do the exam paper from back to front, as the last question was the most time consuming, as it rewarded the most marks. That is something to consider if your exam paper is like that. However, this varies from subject to subject. For example, if it was chemistry, sometimes there's like a 2-part question, so you have to do question 1 in order to do question 2, so you can't really work back to front. Schedule and organization. So now you know how to revise. It's all about when you're going to do it. So make a timetable. Yes, I know it's a cliche, everyone says this, but it is really important. It's because I did mention this in my other video, but I actually would never make a timetable, but eventually I did. After school, I would just be like, you know what, I'm just going to revise subjects that I like and subjects that I generally enjoy. Well, that wasn't my initial mindset, but because I never had a timetable, I was more drawn to do that rather than revise the subjects that I found really tough or subjects that I just generally didn't like. And when you make a timetable, it's just much more logical to revise in the format of your periods or the lessons you actually have in school. Storage. So I will have a video coming up on how I store all my revision material in my folders. An example of storage is my flashcards. So I have so many flashcards. This is all from GCSE, by the way. I currently have flashcards in this plastic wallet. So that's where I store all my flashcards, so it's just really portable and easy to carry with me to school. You probably want to get something to store your flashcards in, and I do have folders to like store everything. It's so important to revisit topics that you've revised for, because there's no point of revising for a certain topic for an hour and you do not revisit the topic, or you don't even practice any questions until like 2 weeks later, because it's just going to leave your head. So to avoid wasting so much time, just make sure you revise topics in spaced intervals. Revisit the topic maybe like 2 days later and just do 4 questions just on it. It doesn't have to be so much, just as long as you revisit, you don't have to do so much work on it because you've forgotten the information. Your well-being is definitely important, and some people, they generally just don't revise. They're just naturally smart like that and they still get the best grades. Then they probably flick through a textbook and they're still getting grades 7, 8s and 9s. And don't beat yourself up if you're not one of these people, because I certainly wasn't. I definitely had to revise for hours and hours just so I can get the grades that I wanted. And some people, they can just get it like that because they are just smart like that. Try not to stress. Just don't stress. Like, try not to be one of those people who are frantically revising like crazy in the morning. And something that I honestly should have mentioned earlier is that the earlier you revise, the better. I know a lot of people ask, so when is the best time to revise? If I'm being brutally honest, there is no best time to revise. Like, the earlier the better. Obviously, you don't want to be silly and revise the day before of your 2-week enrollment of mock exams. Like, that's just hideous and silly. Like I said, some people, they can just do that and they can ace their exams, and that's just how it is. So make sure you're eating well, you're sleeping well, 8 hours or more, but not over 8 hours. Mention how important mock exams are. Because of the pandemic, I never even got to see my GCSE exams. So what they're starting to do, they are starting to really take notes on mock exams, and they're taking it seriously. So make sure you take it seriously, because we don't know how this pandemic virus thing is going to go. My next tip on well-being is do not cram. Don't Do it, sweetheart. Don't do it. Don't cram. I said don't do it, darling. Ever had a quote that says the early bird catches the best worm? I don't know if that's even a quote. It really does. So the reason why you should not cram is because say that there's 1 week before your mock exam you haven't revised. So you have, well, approximately 7 subjects to revise for. Maybe you are under pressure because you have so many subjects to revise for. You now have to do 3 hours after school, like every day. This is just an example. Whereas if it was a whole month before your mock exam started, each day you can just set aside half an hour every single day or even less, and that will put less stress and pressure on you, and you could do other things that you enjoy. Would you rather cram and do lots of hours after school when it comes into the time, or would you rather do spaced intervals or revision with a short amount of time? So that comes to the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give this video a big thumbs up. It will help me grow as a small YouTuber, as YouTube will put my video more out there on the YouTube platform. So the thumbs up will be very much appreciated. If you guys found this video helpful, then make sure you share it to anyone who will be doing mock exams, or even if it's not mock exams, end of year exams, because I know that I did end of year exams for every single year, so this applies to that too. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, as I post helpful and fun content on there that you won't be seeing on this channel. Don't forget to check out the description box down below, as I have links to helpful websites and resources, so be sure to check that out. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. Be sure to hit the top notification, as whenever I upload a video, you will get an instant notification to your phone or device. Once again, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!